Hey everyone, thanks for coming back. If you're watching this on Facebook, then thank you for watching my live feed. If you're watching this from YouTube, then welcome to the BNS channel. My name's EdieAnne and I'm excited today because today happens to be a very special day for me. It's my 6-year Scentiversary. So what does that mean? That means I've been with Scentsy for 6 years and we just kind of put scent and anniversary together, and it's like the pen and the pineapple and the apple pen thing. Yeah. Not quite. It's probably better. So 6 years ago today at actually 11:59 p.m., I decided to join this Scentsy thing. Wasn't even really sure what it was. It was actually kind of a fluke because, well, it's really not a fluke because the universe brings me where I need to be when I need to be there. Hey, good morning, everyone. So basically, 6 years ago, at the beginning of December, on December 4th, I had sold and was selling Avon. At that time, I had been selling Avon for like 12 years. And a friend of mine, we'd had a fundraiser for one of my son's friends that had been found missing. And so it had been kind of introduced to me at that point. My daughter had done a fundraiser a couple years prior. So I had been kind of introduced to it that way as well. But I really still had no idea what Scentsy is or was. And so I put together a holiday extravaganza on December 4th of 2010. And it was going to involve, there was like 5 vendors. We were going to just kind of have this Christmas shopping thing. And good morning, I used to sell Avon. I understand your story is that's how I joined Scentsy. And I had this extravaganza, and one of my friends from a town down where my kids live, this is where I used to live, which is about 8 hours away from where I am right now. And thanks, guys. She messaged me and she said, hey, why don't you set up a Scentsy table? And I said, you know what, Courtney, I can't do that. I'm not going to, I have to be fair. Good morning, Nancy. I have to be fair and give my attention to my Avon table. I've got, you know, a couple grand worth of Avon products that I need to sell. And so if I'm focusing on that, I'm not going to be able to focus on a Scentsy table. And I knew she wouldn't be able to make it up here because it was 8 hours away. Good morning. And so she was kind of persistent, as my friend tends to be. We're a lot alike. Matter of fact, we used to run the snack shack together when our sons played baseball. That's how far back it went. And so I kind of told her, I said, look, I said, I understand that you would like to have a table up here. There's not a lot of, there's, I think maybe one Scentsy consultant, and I don't even know who she is. She did a fundraiser and she never labeled anything. And I just don't feel it's fair. You know, I want to be fair to her too and give her product ample time. And she said, Edie, listen, I know that you already have a warmer from your daughter's fundraiser. She said, and I know you already have a Scentsy buddy from Bryce's fundraiser. So I'm going to send you some books and catalogs and a bar of blueberry cheesecake because I know you're out and it's your favorite. What? No, there's 2 earrings. It's just, it's just because of the light. There's 2 earrings there. And she says, I'm going to send you a bar of blueberry cheesecake because I know it's your favorite and I know you're out. And I said, okay. I said, what do you want me to do with that? She goes, I just want you to turn the warmer on, put the blueberry cheesecake in the warmer and let it warm. And she said, just set up your table with your buddy and your catalogs and order forms. And she said, just leave it there. And I said, you know, Courtney, I said, I can do that. I said, but that's not fair. You're not going to get any orders because I'm not going to pay attention to it. I said, but okay, fine. I'll do it. So I had like a 4x4 table at our display at the event that I was doing. My Avon had like an 8-foot table and it was full. And so I set it up, I plugged in the warmer, and I just let it go. And of course, we enjoyed the blueberry cheesecake scent. It was upstairs at a function area in a restaurant, so it smelled good. It went with the, you know, the scents that were in that building. And I got through the rest of the night, and it was like 9 o'clock at night when we ended and we went to go pack up, and I was packing up all of my Avon stuff. I think I had sold like about $300 to $400 worth of Avon, and was pleased, not thrilled, but pleased. Yep, there's a lot of us that were, I think. And not that Avon's a bad company. I don't wear makeup, you know, so that was a big thing. So I focused a lot on the perfumes, right? Because it was scent. And so it hit me halfway through packing up the table that I needed to shut off the warmer in order for it to harden so that I could bring it home. And I didn't want to throw it out because obviously it was still good, and nobody had taught me to pour it back into the clamshell, so I wasn't aware of that, so I knew I had to shut it off. But anyway, so I go over to the table and shut off the warmer, and as I'm kind of looking around, there's stuff that's been kind of tossed a little bit, and I look, and there's a pile of order forms. Now you have to remember that I live in a town that is very trustworthy. People trust each other. It's a very communal area in my neighboring town. It's a small community, so everybody knows everybody. And there was a stack of orders for about $300 worth on that table with checks attached to them or credit cards put on the slips because, you know, you have that area on the bottom of the slip. And I was pretty dumbfounded. I packed up that table and I went and finished my Avon table. And went home. You know me, if you know me, I really contemplated about this a lot. So I called Courtney, I said, I got some orders. She's like, okay, good, we'll put it together as a party. I knew you would get some, da 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 da. And so we put together this party and I got some buddies and stuff. I think it ended up being like a $500 or $600 party that I had ended up putting together from that table. And then getting a few other orders from other people. I thought about it. Now remember, the products came in around, I don't know, maybe the 15th or the 16th. That was the 4th that we had the event. So just in time for Christmas. Christmas got over. I had time to contemplate even more, and it was sitting in the back of my head thinking, God, I didn't have to do anything. This Avon thing that is how it all started. This Avon thing is a lot of work. There's a lot of products, and I had a 4-foot table, 3-foot table, with just a couple items, and I got $300 worth of orders. Is there something I don't know? That's what I said. So of course, Courtney had said, you know, you should join. I know you would be good at this, blah, 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 blah. And finally, unbeknownst to her, on the 30th of December at 11:59 p.m., that is not a joke. I'm not kidding you. I went to her website and I ordered my kit. I don't know what I thought or expected. And I know with Avon, and I'm not bashing them at all. It's how they work their business. It works for them, and that's fabulous. But every 2 weeks, you would get a new catalog, and you would have to put an order in. Well, our district manager here would call me every 2 weeks. Are you putting in orders? Are you going to put in orders? You're putting in orders. And finally, to the point where I said, look, if I put in orders, I put in orders. If I don't, I don't. Don't call me every 2 weeks, please. I was just annoyed. I don't know why, but I was annoyed by it, and I felt it was pushy, and I didn't really like it. Hi, Debbie. Yes, 9 days. Actually, it's less for me, but that's okay. So I told her right out. I called her up. I said, Court, I said, you see that I joined your team? She's like, I know. And I said, I don't want you bugging me. I'm doing this as a hobby. I don't want you bugging me. And she goes, I get it. And I said, I know that you and I are friends, so you understand where I'm coming from. And I don't want it to ever tarnish our friendship because you're being pushy and I don't want that. And she just agreed. She backed off, and I kind of did. I kind of did it on my own. She was a great sponsor. If I had questions, I'd go to her, but I was pretty self-motivated. And I didn't want to be pushed, so I wanted to do it on my own, at my own pace. And like I said, it was a hobby. I was only doing it to fill some time. I had just stopped working. Oh, somebody's here. Please hold. Oh, it's got to be Camden. I'm going to have to come back. Hi, Kelly. I'm going to have to come back, guys, because the dogs are going to start barking in like 2 seconds. Or we'll wait. We'll see what happens. Ready? Are you ready for it? Mid! They work, Wyatt. He's out shoveling out back, so. Okay. Okay. Thank you. See ya. Happy New Year. See ya. If he knew that I was on camera, he'd be like, what? So, yes. So I told her, I said, look, I said, it's just a hobby. Do not bug me in a nice way. I love you, but don't bug me. And she agreed. So I posted something on the 31st, last day of the year, right? So like tomorrow, I posted something and I said, I just want to let you know that I just started a new business called Scentsy, and if you want anything, just let me know. The response was huge, and people started ordering from me right away. I was a little not leery, not put off, but like, what? So I went ahead and I ordered all that stuff on that last day of the year, and my first paycheck in January was $11 in commission. So it wasn't a lot of sales on the 31st, but it was more than I had expected. Hey, water bottle. She eats it. I think it's funny. Sorry. Everybody else is scared of the water. Her, she opens her mouth. Oh, she's a brat sometimes. And so, yeah, and what ended up happening is the first couple months, like January and February, I was really kind of just seeing how it would flow. I was getting some orders. That was great. I really wasn't pushing it much. Like I said, it was supposed to be just a hobby. And then February, Scentsy went and put in this bonus kit thing. And people were like, oh, I want to join. You get more in your kit in February? I want to join. And I remember my first event, I had done my first party in January. It was like the end of January, like right before Valentine's Day. And I told people about that special, and I had somebody that wanted to join. And I remember coming home saying, Ben, I don't know if this is cool or not. She lives like 5 miles down the road. I'm going to lose customers already. I don't want to do that. I don't want her to take all my customers. We're friends. We live like next door to each other, and in a very small town, was hard for me. And he said, Edie, and I quote, if she doesn't join under you, she's going to join under somebody else. Wouldn't you rather she join under you? And I said, yep, absolutely. So I contacted Heather and I said, good morning, Shawnee Bradshaw. Hi, Edie. So I contacted Heather and I said, okay, I'm ready for you to join. If you want to come over, I'll help you through the process and we'll hook you up online and blah, 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 blah. Well, that turned into a huge success. She's no longer with us as far as on the team. But she was for quite a while. And thank you guys. Hi, Lindsay. And so the rest is kind of history, but I have to throw this one in there because she's on here watching. So February, I ended up getting, and I probably should look at this to make sure, because I actually have all of my numbers from the day I started on a spreadsheet. Isn't that cool? So, yeah. So 2011, which was that first year that I joined after December 30th, right? I had 0 people that joined in January. I had 5 people that joined me in that February, that first February. And I remember saying, okay, I had to talk to myself, because at that point I was like, what? I am either in all the way in, or I need to step back from this, because if I'm recruiting people, then that means I'm responsible for them. Like, I need to make sure that I'm there so that they have just as much of an opportunity as I did. So I really I went walking, and I took a shower and took a bath. And I mean, it was just a lot of thought process time. And I finally decided that if I was going to do this, I was going to really do this. And so that February, I decided to go all in, and decided that this was going to be something that I was going to prove to not only myself, but to some others in my life that didn't always think that I could accomplish things. I know, Shawnee. And so in March, I recruited another 3 more, which means that I had 8 people on my team at that point. And then in April, I had 1 person join. And can I tell you first, before I announce that, the 8 people that joined, I don't know that any of them are left. I think all of them left. So I don't know what that tells about me. However, on April 1st of 2011, Miss Shawnee Bradshaw joined my team, and her and I had been talking throughout the month of March about joining. And so in April was when I recruited my very first rock star, one of the people that we look for. You know, when we're building a team, we want people that are eager and wanting this, and have a true desire, because they know what their why is, right? To succeed in a business. So yeah, I thought she was my April Fool's child, because I didn't understand why she had joined on the 1st of April. But she wasn't. I think the joke was on her, because I don't think she realized how successful she was going to be. So that's pretty cool. So Shawnee is only 4 months behind me as far as celebrating her 6th year Scentiversary. How did I meet Shawnee? On YouTube. We connected on YouTube. I think I was, once I'd made the decision that I was all in, I started building relationships online, and YouTube was my biggest playground at that point. And I ended up introducing myself to her, and we talked and we talked and talked and talked and talked. And she says I convinced her, but I don't think you need to be convinced when you love something anyway. I know, Shawnee is a rock star. So that first year in 2011, I recruited 35 people. So when I say that I was all in, I was all in. 2012, I recruited 56 people. So we started growing really, really fast at that point, because at the end of, do I have that number? At the end of 2011, our team had reached 77 people. So I had only recruited 35 of them. 35 of them were mine, and 77 of them, not 77, but the remaining, which is 42, were people like Shawnee, who recruited extremely quickly as well, and other people on our team that was growing the team. So it's just, I'm still, I think, in awe of the blessings that Scentsy has brought. And I know that a lot of it is the hard work that I put in. I get that. But it's also the universe bringing me some amazing people that want to join Scentsy. And to be honest with you, at this point, I'm even more blessed because people seek me out to join, and I'm not having to do a lot of that, what we feel is difficult, to talk to people and, share with them what it is that Scentsy could do for them. You know what I mean? So I'm just really blessed. I'm thrilled. And I know that, Heidi and Orville obviously are a big part of this. And I remember a conversation that I had had with Heidi at the very first incentive trip that I won, which was in 2012. And, I should keep track of those, and that I don't do. I keep track of the, where we go for a reunion, but I don't keep track of where I went on my trips, which is I've earned all of them. That's pretty freaking amazing. Oh, Shawnee, thank you. You know what? I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of you too, because you have not given up. And I know there are times that you wanted to, and you just haven't given up. Yeah, so Punta Cana was the first one that I earned, and that's where I met Miss Nancy. Have a great day, Debbie. So when I went to join under my friend, I watched all of your YouTube videos, and that helped me. Aw, so since you're Northerner, so am I, right? I remember at our white night, glow white night, I forget what it was called, but we had our farewell dinner. We all wore white. That was really hard to say very quickly. And as we were waiting in line to go get pictures, I remember saying, I need to go talk to her. I need to meet her. And she told me that we had Sarah and Marissa are the same age. Sarah's Heidi and Orville's daughter, and Marissa is my daughter. And they're the same age. They were graduating the same time. And she said, Edie, I need to tell you. And I ended up snagging her before she got to the line to take pictures. And I remember it distinctively because she told me, she goes, are you going to a reunion? And I said, I don't think so. I did the live streaming last year and it was pretty cool, but I don't know. And she goes, you're going to want to go. She said, your daughter and my daughter are the same age. So I'm just telling you, you need to go. And she kind of it was like a moment where we were in a bubble and everybody was quiet around us. So she was making that point very, very valid and very influential. And I kind of turned around and looked at Ben and I was like, I don't know. Heidi says I have to go, so maybe I have to go. And that was the year that she wrote her letter to Sarah. And yeah, that was pretty insane. I know, right? Yay. Hi, Allie. So there's a lot of influential points in my career with Scentsy that, 2 years in, I wanted to quit. I didn't share it at the time because it didn't last long enough. The thought process didn't last long enough because I am very adamant about not sitting on an issue and I try to work it through very quickly. And I woke up that morning and I said, boy, I got to do something. I either need to stop and walk away or something needs to change because yes, I was doing good, but I was burning out. I was burning out really fast at that point. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to keep this up. I'm not getting any younger. So something needs to change. And that was when I changed my mindset and started working on my mindset and stopped selling and started sharing. And when I changed that modality of how I was thinking, it didn't seem as hard anymore. It was a lot more forgiving. It was a lot more fun. And that was pretty huge for me. And so the last 4 years from that point have been a huge personal growth time for me. As far as changing my mindset and working on that and helping others do that. So I wanted to come here with you guys today and kind of share a little bit of my story. There's a lot before that in regards to how I felt about myself. If you knew me 15, 20 years ago, you would have said, there's no way she's going to do this. She is so negative and nasty. I don't know that I was nasty. I was just so angry at life. I had that thought process of life handed me a bum hand and it sucks. And I had to change that, right? I had a relationship there. I was told that I would never accomplish anything, that I would not be able to do anything without him in my life, and that I was kind of a piece of shit, and I just wasn't going to become anything. I wasn't going to amount to anything. And that's after starting a business and having it fail after 3 years and, jumping from job to job and all of those types of things that happen when you're just not in a good place in your life. So I am pretty pleased at this point, you know, and I remember being extremely excited to the point where I was kind of gloating at the beginning, and I had to really reconnect with my humble side and find that humble side, because I don't know that I ever had one. And so, oh, thanks, Ashley. I don't know that I ever really had a humble side. And I know that that's been a huge thing that has come from me understanding and owning gratefulness. When you can understand and own gratefulness, you are automatically going to be humble, because you are grateful for everything that shows up in your life, whether it's good or bad. You know, and you've heard me say that I feel that God and the universe, whoever you look up to, gives us all things in our path, whether they are good experiences or bad experiences, so that we can become his best teacher. And I'm a teacher through and through. And so I love that. And knowing that that's where I am now in my Scentsy journey, or in my life's journey, that's pretty cool. Pretty psyched about that. So I am going to celebrate my 6th year Scentiversary today. Don't know how, because we're having a snowstorm, so it's going to have to be here in the house. And I am going to be posting this video on YouTube as well. Let me read what she just wrote. Kathleen Warren, thank you, Edie. I think when people tell us we can't, something inside sparks us to say, watch me. I will be successful, and allows us to learn about ourselves, giving us the, and it cut it off. But you're right. And I had a mother who was a teacher at the time. She was very teacher oriented, not in a bad way, but she constantly expected more from me. I don't know, I can't speak for my sister, but she constantly expected more from me. So I felt like I wasn't enough a lot of times. As I got older, I understand now where that comes from, right? Because we want the best for our kids, and I know that she loves me very, very much. But I always had that feeling of, okay, well, even if I do this, it's not going to be enough anyway, or it's not going to be good enough, or it's not going to be done well enough, or whatever. And then when I met my ex-husband, it was 170,000 times worse. So I had to find my way out of that. You know? And so, yeah, there was a big part of me that wanted to say, hey, look at this. I finally did it. I finally did it. You know? And my father's looking down on me saying, Edie, I'm proud of you. You did do it. And that's huge for me, because I miss my father every day. So, don't know where that ended or why that even came up, but there you go. All right, guys, have an amazing day and a very, very happy new year. Make those goals something that you can reach so you can celebrate, but don't make them so easy that you accomplish them on the 2nd of January. All right, everybody have an amazing day. Make it an amazing day for somebody else, and have a happy new year. Bye.